All right, my favorite people. So we all want to be successful, but do we really know what it takes from a mindset from someone who is, quote unquote, you would say successful or where you want to be? So by the end of this video, I'm going to share some of those ways of thinking, the limiting beliefs that they may have had that they had to overcome with more empowering beliefs. So you'll definitely want to stay until the very end to get those gems and golden nuggets. All right, my favorite people, you know the next step, subscribe button as well as the notification bell, those of you on YouTube, and then those of you who are on the other listening platforms, go ahead and leave that rating. It would really mean the world. Just recently came back from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Luckily, no snakes on the plane, and really was able to get some insights on marketing, taxes, how important it is that is one of our, if not the largest expense that we do have as an individual and also operator of a business, and then just the overall economics of the printing off of all this money. That we really had some really great conversations of where are things going to be in the next 5, 10, 15 years with printing off of all the money, and then inflation and possibly hyperinflation. So there is a link. Well, I recently posted the video, or it'll be in the future, of which that video will be posted, or we may have already posted it, but it'll just be trip to Chattanooga, Tennessee for marketing event. I digress, you guys. Don't want to get too much off topic, but the first point is that I've seen, and really studying the people who are even further ahead than me than their journeys. And when I really started to change my mindset was when I had that pivotal moment in my early 20s where I was at a college party. I was out on a boat. Yes, I was on a boat. I'm on a boat, but I was on that, and beaming question comes down to me and says, Sterling, is this what you want to do with your life? And I answered no. And I did 3 key things, which one was cutting off all my friends because they were not going where I wanted to go, great people. 2, cut out the news. And 3 was focus on mindset and started studying those who were further along than me and how did they get there. And a lot of it really stemmed from their beliefs and the way they thought about things. So point number 1 is setting short-term to long-term goals. And this is not one of those things that you would just do at the beginning of the year during your New Year's resolutions. It's something to constantly revisit and possibly make some tweaks in what you're currently doing in order to reach that objective, versus it's month 10, you look at the goal and you just, I'm not even close to where it is. So really just having those short-term goals that you would, in essence, are measures, levers that would get you to your big picture goal for the year, or maybe to your 5 or 10 years goal that you have, and then just working backwards and reverse engineering what you would need to do today on a weekly basis, a yearly, in order to get to that long-term goal that you have. So that's the first one, because if you don't have a destination, how are you going to get to where you want to go if you don't have any idea in mind where you want to go? The second is building a team. This is a common mistake I see people make as they're entering into the industry, is that they try and do it all on their own with analyzing a deal, managing the contractors. I had someone ask me a question about the other day is, what's the cost to replace a bathroom surround? I don't know that, and I don't want to know that, because that is very, what I would consider low value, because you want to get to a point where you're pushing yourself up within your company and within your business to where you don't know those types of things, that you have people on your team that you can go to for that answer, and they would be able to point you in the right, well, not so much, they would be able to take care of it, but that would be something very as you look to grow, more so just putting the right people in place, like property management companies. That way you don't have to be so involved with the day-to-day, having attorneys, having people help raise the money for your deals versus trying to do it all on your own, because that's when you can start to run into mistakes and mishaps, because you'll end up overlooking things because you've got so many things that you're trying to get through. And that's one thing that I've learned is on that one deal, one of the deals that I did was I was too aggressive on the underwriting and ended up submitting an offer to the owner of which was $800,000. Yes, $800,000 more than what we could actually pay for it, because I was too aggressive on the rental rates, and I simply should have just delegated that to someone on our team, to our COO, to ask her, hey, what do you believe we could rent these for? Because she actually had way more extensive experience on the property management side and leasing and in tune with the market than I did. But I ended up trying to take that all on my own and put it on my plate, and I made that mistake. Luckily, was able to get that. The owner was motivated, and we were still able to. Well, owner now seller was able to. They were motivated, so able to get that discount. But those are the things that could happen. The third is having a long-term mindset. This is huge because in the social media age and trying to keep up with the Joneses of everyone else, that you see the highlights of them being able to get that deal, but you don't see everything that led up until that point. It could have been years of which they've been following up with that owner. You see them close the deal and you're thinking, I haven't closed the deal yet. I'm 2 months, I'm 3 months in, not realizing that it takes time. Follow-up, persistent, consistency. And I see people give up too soon because they don't have the long-term view that's in mind, and it takes time. And I've seen people who are further along than me, and especially in today's environment that we're in with buying deals, is that it's been a year, 2 years of which they've gone with not buying a deal, but they've been in the industry a very long time, that when things shifted in the market, that's when they were able to really turn on acquisitions mode and get really good deals, because they just had a long-term view and didn't have the scarcity mindset to get in a bad deal just to get into a deal. So just having a long-term view, and just so there's that aspect, but it's also allowing you to not take shortcuts, because if you take shortcuts, that will end up costing you in the end, and that could really affect your relationship with someone in the business when you're trying to take a shortcut. And if you're known for that, that could ruin your reputation for the long run. So that's the third point. The fourth, stay educated. Myself, to this day, it's been just over 10 years, a decade. Now I feel old just by saying that, but I got in younger. But it is, all right, is by staying educated I am always learning something new, and not to a point that I know everything, because I don't know everything, and just knowing that is just on this constantly evolving door of, okay, there's something else I can learn new about structuring deals, how to find investors, how to find deals, how to structure the deals. So all these different aspects I can learn, or even learning about a new market or technology that I can start to put within the business. So all these different things, constantly learning and putting myself around others who are further along than in their journey, to learn from them. And I learned that those people are constantly learning as well and getting something new. Had a conversation with someone who has been far along in their journey as a investor. They're in a different niche in real estate, but I just talked about our model that we have, and he said, that's it. I like the straight equity model, and that's one of the things that we mentioned of structuring our deals. He says, I like that. And he says, that may be something we start to, so that's what just goes to show that always learning. And then the fifth is open to mentorship and guidance, and just being coachable and constantly reaching out to people and saying, hey, how did you go about structuring that deal? And just being able to get insights, because that really just ramps up your learning curve. And that was how I actually got started in the industry and was able to buy my very first deal. No money out of pocket, was because I had negative funds in my bank account when I started, but I ended up finding someone who was where I wanted to be, and I solved their problems and was of value to them, to where they didn't have the time to find the deals, but they had the cash. I had the time but didn't have the cash, and that was the gap that was bridged. And through that is I ended up speeding up my learning curve and took their 20 years of being in the industry and compacted it into the 2.5 years that I work with them. So mentorship, I'm a huge proponent of it. Would like for you to go ahead and comment below is, do you have mentors? Who's someone that helps mentor you? Go ahead and comment below. Would love to hear that from you. So just in summary, you guys, is one, just setting short-term and long-term goals and just tying them all together. Second is building a team and a system. Team is very important. I've learned that so much from the highly successful and achievable, as they talk about teams all the time. They don't say I, they say we. Third is having a long-term mindset. Fourth, stay educated. And fourth is the value of mentorship. So you guys, always appreciate you being on here. Would really love for you to hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell. It's very simple to do. And then those of you who are listening on other platforms, go ahead and leave that rating. And just reach out to me anytime. I'm on Instagram at sterlingwhiteofficial. One more time, that is sterlingwhiteofficial. Here constantly to be of value to you. And in addition to that, I do strategy sessions as well, which is free. And that's one way you can personally speak with myself, where we would do a deep dive into your business and understand where you're at, where you're looking to go, and how to bridge that gap. So in order for you to do that, go ahead and check the link out below. So have a great one.